Grace to you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Today has been a great day. As you know, if you've watched my video, I did the Artisan NIV for my wife. That's great for Mother's Day. And then I have the Review Bible from Zondervan Premier Collection right here. Amazingly beautiful. Super supple, right out of the box. As a matter of fact, it comes in this stiff cardboard paper here. Really nice, but I'm going to be putting that in my Omega box, and that'll be for comparison. And I'm using the cloth for this one. It's just a lot more easier to handle. And if I'm going to be using this more than I am the Omega, then obviously it makes sense to me to have a cloth rather than fight this cardboard all the time. Future, sure, it'd be awesome to see them to do cloth like they do, but if Zondervan does that in the future, and Thomas Nilsson and the publishers that are involved in these Bibles, the Premier Collection, I would like to see them do maybe even a young blood. I know that's all on whatever the companies call and all of that, but I would love to see this Bible with these hubs, maybe 5 hubs, as opposed to, and a thick cut goat skin like that, it's not bad at all. This does not really have a grain, it's more of a pebbled, smooth. These are not even tooled, these are printed on hubs. They're stamped. The hubs are stamped, just like New International Version stamped, Zondervan, and then the Holy Bible. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. The ribbons beat the heck out of the Omega. If anybody owns an Omega, you know that's pretty sad. 4, I'll take 3 over 4 any day if they look like this. These are single-sided satin. They could have went double-sided. I think that could have improved on it a little bit, but other than that, these are super pretty. And I'm not big on ribbons anyway. These didn't even bother me. These do get in the way sometimes because they're too short. They're just right there and they get in the pages and all that when you're trying to turn pages. That's why I think you have to have a certain length so they don't get too caught in the pages. As you can see, it is perimeter stitched. And it is thin. It's, to be exact here, let's look at this spine. It will be right around, let's see. It's hard to do with one hand, guys. Just apologize. It is right around 1 inch. It's a little under an inch. I would say between 7/8 and 1 inch thick, which is pretty amazing, honestly. As you can see, it's very supple, very soft right out of the box. Flops around. So it is perimeter stitch. It is edge lined. You can see the edge line tabbing here. Perimeter stitch, art gilt line around the cover. Amazing. It is blue under silver. It's not like a deep blue like Skylar does, but it is a blue. Skylar's recently, their blues is deep. It used to be lighter than this even. But as you can see here, goatskin leather cover. Very comparable to the Omega. I will give you a better shot here. The Omega is going to look thinner at the moment just because my cover. And very nice size indeed. Very heavily tabbed right here. It's glued clear up to here. Tabbed here, glued up to here. You can see the presentation page here has 3 diamonds interlocking. This lighter gray, bluish gray almost reminds me of the infinity knot. And then you have the navy blue navy blue in the middle with the blue gray interlocking. Your word is a lamp for my feet and a light on my path. 119:105, that's Psalm 119:105, and presented to, by, on the occasion of, and date. And it's pretty simple, and it lies fairly flat right out of the box. So it's super nice. And I do like the cardstock here. It gives it a nice, it's almost manly look. So it's kind of a welcome look after the Artisan Rose review I did of my wife's Bible, which she still does not know about. She will know about it when she gets home later today. And it is Smythe sewn, as you can see here. Here is the copyright page. It tells you about the Zondervan NIV typeface created by 2K Denmark. It is the comfort print. If you want to read any of this, you can pause it. Here's the table of contents. And again, the ghosting is going to be worse on the camera than it is with the eye. It's there, obviously, but it's not as bad as the camera is showing. So here's your table of contents, the alphabetical order of books, preface, and this is a very dark font as well. It's going to be darker than the Omega, I do believe. Yes, it is. It's not, it's just as dark as the Cameo as well. I will post pictures later on. I'm going to try to read out of this for a while after this review. But as you can see, there's a little bit of a comparison here. The prefaces. That's the Omega on the left and the Premier on the right. The Premier has a more white paper, and I kind of enjoy that actually. If you've seen the Cameo, it has a white picture as well. I'm going to see if I can sit this down for just a second, just long enough for me to go grab the Cameo. I'll be right back. And the reason why I wanted to do the Cameo comparison is because the Artisan was such a nice, and look, the paper's actually more white than the Cameo. Bam, nailed it. 36 GSM, 28 GSM. Title page to the Old Testament. And this is just beautifully done. I do not believe this is line matched. Maybe it is. No, it's not line matched. But again, it's not going to be an issue with the 36 GSM and the bold font. I'll show you here. Put this on here. Just to show you, this is an 11 point. I do believe it may be 10. That would be a good question, honestly. Probably should have figured that font size out. They claim it's an 11.4 font. So I'm calling it an 11. Maybe even a 10.5, but we'll compare it to the 10.5 of the 10 point. It's 10 point of the Omega. So the 10 point of the Omega, we'll compare that to that. But see, the darkness of this is just as dark as that. This obviously is still a tiny bit darker. It's going to appear that way too because they're smaller and fatter letters. But side by side, you can see very comparable. Very dark. Zondervan did a really great job and very smart move on their part doing that. Again, paper quality, it looks amazing. Let's put this next to the Omega. Let's get a page turned here. Not sure why I even turn that back. So here you go. And I will measure these at the end as well. Definitely darker on the left, better quality paper, less ghosting in my opinion. That's to be expected, 36 GSM as opposed to 28. Again, it's not about the Omega, that's just a little bit of a comparison. Because my opinion, I mean, I am more of a NIV user, so there's going to be a little bit of bias there. Just well done. Love this font. I'm loving it. So we got 1 Samuel here. Here's the poetry section, verse by verse. One thing again I will mention, since I said they could improve a little bit on the ribbons, I'm not worried about those. These are beautifully done. Definitely would like to see hubs in the future and maybe even line match. If this was a line match Bible, this would be the perfect Bible. And this is maybe the one for me anyhow. I never like to say it's not the one or it is the one until I actually use it for a while. NIV wise, right now this is the one. Unless Zondervan makes a better version, this is the one for now. I don't see Skylar taking me from thinking this is the one just because they're going to 28 GSM. Not that that's a problem, because their paper is higher quality. So don't get me wrong there. I'd like to see Skylar do a darker font like this. Then it would be definitely something that I may purchase in the future. Right now, I think this will keep me pretty content. The title page for the New Testament, they have these little gray accents here. It's a little something for it being aesthetically pleasing. I would like to see maybe that carry over to the title. Maybe not gray per se, but maybe blue and a dark blue for the chapter headings. Other than that, this Bible is absolutely flawless for what you get. Again, this is not going to have references. A lot like the Artisan, it's going to be footnotes at the bottom here, which is absolutely fine with me. I don't need references. They get in the way when I'm reading anyway. I would like to see a reference version in the future, possibly, especially maybe a double column with it down the middle. A lot of them are getting out of that. The NIV to me is the original paragraph Bible. I don't know why. I can have this in paragraph. It doesn't bother me. The more literal versions I feel should be verse by verse. I don't, it's all in our heads, but that's just a preference of mine. But after Revelation, again, you'll get the page on the back side, tables of weights and measures, and you will have no concordance, no maps. I'd like to see some maps put in this. I'm not a big map user. It's not a deal breaker, but I still every now and then will use the maps. Let's see here. It's even. This is not an issue. It's not coming up or anything. It's just a little off here on the... There's the ISBN for anybody that may want to purchase this Bible. I would highly recommend this Bible. I think it's worth every penny. It's probably in the 90s at the moment for purchase off Amazon. And I'm not sure what it is on Evangelical. It's probably it might be in the high 80s on Evangelical. I will put both links to both websites at the bottom to let you choose where you want to purchase this from. I would probably say Evangelical. Obviously, you're going to go for the cheaper one, but I think if memory serves me correctly, I looked the other day and it was 80 something on Evangelical. So that's the route I would go, honestly. 90 something on Amazon, and I could be wrong. So definitely check these links below in the description. This is an amazing Bible, guys. And here I told you I would get the measurements of the outside, so I better have done that. Better do that for you. And it is going to be a little under 10 inches. 9 7/8 is what I would call that on height, and 6 5/8 on the spine. If you go out to the curvature of the spine, it's I would say it's closer to 6 7/8. So about 6 7/8 with the curvature of the spine, 6 7/8 wide, and then the text block itself is 9 1/4 by 6 3/8. It looks like 6 1/4, 6 3/8. So if you want those measurements, I wouldn't ever put the this kind of cover in this kind of cover in a case, because it would just ruin it and it'd probably mess up the spine eventually. Again, amazing Bible, well done, Zondervan. Definitely shout out to them. No cockling at all, perfectly done. Definitely looking forward to using this. God bless you all for watching. Thank you. Please subscribe below, and I'll show you here the text blocks does line up. Lines up nice and pretty. So that's a nice silver line there. Again, if you are an NIV lover like I am, definitely would consider this, because especially if you like the ESV Omega. If you're an ESV guy or gal for your literal, I think this is a hair thinner, the NIV. But if you're an ESV for literal and this for more of a dynamic, definitely you'll love this Bible here. If you love this one, I do love this one. I'm just not a real big fan of the translation, as people know. This is my dynamic, my critical text preference, and my literal text would be the KJV. Again, thank you for watching. I love you guys. God bless. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I plan on in the future hoping to do more reviews for Zondervan. I would love to do some for Thomas Nelson. The NKJV would be one I'd really be interested in trying to make a daily driver along with these two, because I do love the KJV so much, but it is a little bit archaic in areas. That's what keeps me carrying the TBS for the notes. So if I had an NKJV, I think I'd be a very happy man, but only time will tell. Hope that in the future I get the pleasure of reviewing more of Zondervan's premium series. The Heritage would be a nice one. So with any luck, God willing, guys, I'll have more reviews for you. Again, thank you for watching. Love you, and God bless.